Hey everybody, it's Lisa Derby Oden here, and today I am with Richard Goyette. And so we're going to have some fun getting to know Richard a little bit better. How are you today, Richard?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm excellent, thank you. When we're recording this, of course, it's a Friday, so how could you have a bad day on a Friday is what I want to know, right?
Exactly. Especially with a beautiful day that it is.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So let's go ahead and find out a little bit more about what your job is. What do you do at MassMEP? Tell us your job title and sort of day in, day out, that kind of stuff.
So I'm a continuous improvement project manager, which is a fancy way of saying that I deliver our teachings to different companies and try to educate them on everything from Lean to Six Sigma to engineering things like GD&T, math, and metrology.
So that's great. And, I know that a lot of our project managers here, have a whole broad base of topics that they are qualified and very capable of delivering. Do you have a specialty area?
Yeah, my specialty area is more in basic manufacturing skills, so blueprint reading, basic math, that kind of stuff, and Six Sigma. I'm a certified black belt in Six Sigma.
Excellent. That's wonderful. So you've been with MassMEP a little while now. And so what I would like to know is, like, where did you come from before MassMEP? What's your career path been? And how did you hear about MassMEP so that you were able to join us?
So I started in the microlithography industry, which are the machines that make computer chips. From there, I went into wire and cable. And I'd been in engineering for each of these. Over time, I became the engineering manager. And I ended up taking on the more of the training role for trying to teach all the new engineers and new operators Lean and Six Sigma and basic engineering skills to try to get them up to speed. So at the last company that I worked for, they had actually used MassMEP at the beginning of their Lean journey. So the entire time I was there, the vice president always talked about that first Kaizen that he did with MassMEP. So I knew it, and when it was time to look for a new challenge, a new path in life, I'm like, I think it's time to do that. I think it's definitely time to reach out and help as many people as I can.
Oh, that's great. Let me ask you this. With your, since you did so much in engineering, you've got all that hands-on skill and that kind of thing. Do you also have a degree in engineering?
Well, yes, my master's degree is in software engineering.
Excellent.
But I kind of took a different path in my undergrad. I was actually doing theoretical mathematics and theoretical physics. Originally, I was intending to be an inventor, but it's hard to do with just a bachelor's degree. So I went into engineering instead.
That's pretty cool. You've got a great technical background for this. I love it. So go ahead and tell us, like, what is it that you love, about your work or your job? Obviously you've been in manufacturing for quite a while. You wanted to be an inventor after all, and all of that kind of stuff. So what's your passion? What really drives you in your work?
So, I mean, one of the things going back to as a kid, I had always wanted to be an inventor. And what I found is that joy of discovery, that joy of something new happening, creating something new. And as I started as a process engineer, I got to do that a lot. You go out, you fix a problem, you create a whole new process, or you fix it, create a pokey yoke. As I became an engineering manager, I started to realize I was training all these people to do this, but I no longer got to be able to do it.
Yeah.
So it was nice to be able to bring other people along and to show them how to do it. but I could no longer get my hands dirty. So this helps me to continue along that path of not only helping develop people and show them these awesome insights, but also to be able to roll up my sleeves and get dirty and still experience these brand new manufacturing facilities to me on how things are made, which has always fascinated me, how things are made.
It is really interesting for sure. I know every time I get to go into a factory or a plant or a facility anywhere, my mind is always blown about how things are made and things I wouldn't even have thought about before. I have to ask, as a kid, since you were always interested in inventing, did you used to like be a Lego kid?
Unfortunately, we really couldn't afford much Legos,
Okay.
so
Yep.
I was more of the stick and bind kid that used
Yeah.
to take all the things from the woods and put them together and see what I could invent it that way. So
Well, that's the mark of a true inventor, I think. Yep, for
yes.
sure. All right. Well, how about personally, like outside of work, when you're not on the clock and that kind of thing? What is it that you like to do? What are your passions outside of work?
So that's actually a very broad spectrum of things, but I really like being out in nature. I love going camping and hiking and challenging myself on something new out in nature. I also like, I make wines and meads and ciders at home. I don't really drink a lot, but I have more fun kind of seeing what I can come up with and how can I break the rules.
I bet you're popular with your friends.
Oh yes, yes. Everybody loves it. For Christmas, can I have?
Yeah.
Which actually leads into another hobby of mine. Because I love manufacturing, I love making things. I also have a 3D printer, which I spend a lot of time making Christmas presents for the rest of the family, and getting into cleaning them up and painting them and really trying to make it something special for that person. So
That's really cool. I look forward to seeing an example of that sometime. I think it'd
yeah,
be fun.
you have to come to my DFM class because I do show off a couple of my different prints that I've done in 3D printing. So
Oh, cool. Yeah. Well, that's great. All right. Well, we're at the we've been having a lot of fun so far on getting to know you better, but this is where it gets even more fun and more interesting. We would like for you to tell us 3 things about yourself, 2 that are true and 1 that is made up, and we're going to guess at the made up one offline.
okay. So the first fact that I would say is that I love traveling, love being outdoors. I've been to 25 states within the United States and 7 different countries.
Wow.
So that's my first fact. Second, that I'm really motivated by being the underdog. I actually one time ran the 55-meter dash with a broken foot.
Ooh.
And achieved my best time overall.
Wow.
And the last thing is I did have an advantage when I was in middle school that back when we had actual shop classes, if we stayed after school, we could actually learn how to forge. So I was able to actually forge my own sword from scratch, fold the metal all by myself. And I was able to create a 6-foot-long sword that I still have to this day.
I was just going to ask that. That's phenomenal. Well, thank you for sharing those. I think that's going to be a tough call for us to try to figure out which one of those is not quite true. But I want to thank you so much for taking your time here this afternoon to chat with us. It's been a lot of fun to get to know you a little bit better. And I look forward to seeing you at the next company meeting or outing or wherever our paths happen to cross.
Yeah, thank you so much for taking the time. It's been a lot of fun.
Thanks, Richard.